how's it going? Thank you for stopping by. My name is John Signorella. I'm a professional drummer now of over 25 years, a music educator for drums and guitar for nearly 20 years. I owned a business in New Jersey, where I'm originally from, for 10 years called Music Workshop, where I instructed thousands, literally thousands of drummers and guitar players for 10 years. Also, I've managed other music schools prior to my experience being a business owner. I recently relocated to Las Vegas to take on different adventures, and where I'm still teaching music, both at my private studio at home, as well as going to people's homes and now online, which I'm very excited about because the online experience, I'm able to work with not only people just locally. I could work with people back home. I could work with people overseas. I could work with people all over the world, which I think is very great because it picks up, more learning experience for me for different cultures and their learning curve as a teacher and how they respond to the rhythms of, the American style of which I was raised on for rock and jazz and blues and whatnot. And seeing their take on certain things and their excitement when I teach them is really, really cool and it's very insightful. So basically, my program consists of learning world styles, from rock to jazz to Latin to hip-hop to reggae to rap to funk to everything. I cover it all. The bottom line is, if you want to get the gig, you got to learn how to play everything, right? Not just be a jazz drummer, not just be a metal drummer, not just know your double bass, but also know how to play hand percussion. Know the whole thing, the all-encompassing thing, And I think that's really the mastery of the instrument. And that's my goal, is not only to master my craft, is also to get my students to master the craft and open up their mind, excuse me, to a different experience of music that originally got them there, taking their foundation of what they want and building on that foundation. That's the most important thing to me, because that's what my teachers did for me, is that they took the drumming that I thought I was going to be a part of, which is rock and metal, and they made it so much more broad and vast. And then I saw those other things, the jazz influence, the funk influence, coming into play when they, when what they showed me started seeping in to my playing. I'm sitting there playing metal, but I'm, pulling out jazz licks or whatever. And I thought that was really, really cool. So that's what I like to do. And we also work on notes, because it's very important to me that people understand this, is that if you're a musician, in my opinion, you don't know how to read music. It's almost like being, walking around in life and knowing how to speak, but not really knowing the definition of the words and how they're supposed to be used, because you never really read a book and you don't understand, exactly what you're saying. You're going to sound ignorant sometimes. I find that with musicians that are naturally trained, that, yeah, they're great, but sometimes they're playing the wrong thing at the wrong time. So that, for me, is not them knowing the education of notes and the formula of how these things really work. So that's very, very important to understand. We don't do it the boring style. Yankee Doodle Dandy will not be played here. We will be playing fun stuff. We'll relate it to modern rock, classic rock, like I said, jazz, funk, things you like, pop stuff. We invite all that to the table. We learn at a very controlled and fun pace. All I ask is that you put the time in, you will see results fast. Trust me. I will post videos of some of my students that I've taught for anywhere between 3 years, and believe it or not, some stick for 15 years plus. Okay, I've seen people go through elementary school, middle school, high school, to the police academy and get married. You know what I mean? And you could see the results because they listen to the formula. And this is not just my formula. This is passed down from generations. Okay, so I'm going to be done talking for now. I'm going to post some videos to this link, edit some videos, I should say, where you're going to see me at various points in time, maybe conducting an online class, maybe conducting, some kind of something for, music production, because I also do that. I almost forgot to mention that. I'm glad I brought that up, where I can teach you how to edit your drum parts, how to craft drum parts creatively for music production, how to work with, MIDI files and edit properly to get your drum file sounding awesome. Okay, so that's something that I will also link to this too, so you can see like a little tutorial on that. And I teach anywhere from basic, beginner, all the way to super advanced. Okay, we can hang like that here. All right, we got it covered. So basically, what I'm going to do right now is put together like a little compilation of things, of videos that I had posted to my YouTube channel a while back, so you can see some of the things I'm about, what a lesson would be like with me, maybe some of my tutorials for music production, as well as maybe even, you know what, that's a great idea. Right now, boom, just came to my mind, that I'll post some of the music that I was a part of. I recently recorded with 7-time Grammy Award-winning artist Bobby Kimmel from Toto. Yeah, man, I'll post that to this link too, so you can hear it and see. And I actually did the drum production on that, as well as the drumming, so you can see what I'm about in that regard, and also had something to do with the overall production of the song. And there's maybe a couple more little surprises I could put in the mix. Now I'm getting excited because I'm like, I didn't even think about this. I really don't even need to play right now. I can let all the other things do the talking for me, or the playing for me, or however you want to look at it. But anyway, if you're interested, at the end, when you see all this stuff and you listen to me, you just go for 5 minutes here. It's a much longer rant than I wanted it to be. If you're interested in signing up with me, you could take all the information from how you found me on this website and click the links that link to me, or the information that could contact me, sign up, say, yo, I'm in, I want to take a lesson with John, and then we'll take it from there, and you tell me your story, and I'll listen, and I'll give you the best approach to what it is your goals are, because everyone is different. I don't teach everyone the exact same way. I have a method, but I respond to people the way everyone responds to things differently. So I vibe you, and then we work from there, okay? And I'm really excited to meet a bunch of new people, especially people from around the world, man. I'm excited about that. Okay, so now let's take ideas and mix them up. That's what it's all about. It's taking something and mixing it up. So I'm going to do a single accent on a 16th note, playing singles, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What happens if I double that? Again, just an example. Double triplets. This thing is lethal, all right? We're going to play a double stroke roll, and we're going to play it as a triplet now, rather. 1 triplet, 2 triplet. Count. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Speaking of triplets, these things are monsters right now. What I'm going to do, we're going to play right, left with our bass, right, left with our hands up top. And I apologize, I'm not going to the right side. I actually broke the pad during the taping of this video, so we're just going to hit these surfaces right here. I'm always breaking these things. It's time for me to upgrade. But anyway, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Shuffle was more laid back. What I'm going to do right now is play those ghost notes. I'm going to count. 1 triplet, and triplet, 2 triplet, tap tap 1, 2 tap tap 1. Bottoms was more in your face. Well, that was John Bottom's nature with heavy bass drum and open hi-hat. Okay, the hardest aspect of this is probably maintaining that shuffle, especially when you gotta hit that bam at the last beat, okay? My other favorite was Jeff Porcaro's Rosanna. phrasing of the sticking. Right, right, left, right, right, left, left. I'm going to give you a quarter note bass there. Now I'm going to go a little faster. Okay. Now, later on I'm going to show you how to divvy it up more, meaning use the drum set in its entirety and get some really cool patterns when I switch to the acoustic sounds. Right now I'm just going to go just to the roots of these things and use congas, all right? The next thing we're going to do is look at another samba. Right, 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 left, 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 right, right, left, left. That's 1 and 2 and up, E, a 4 E and the 1 and 2 and up, E, a 4 E and the 1. Okay, now, what I'd also like to do is put a bass drum underneath it, and I'm going to play singles. And I'm going to accent that samba on top of the singles. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to click the MIDI, and now I'm going to pull up the MIDI window. There's the drum file right there, guys. All right, what I'm going to do now is just pull it a little bit, stretch it out so we can see what's going on, and you can see that these things are set up in diamonds. If you go to options, there's other options for you to use. Circles, I believe triangles is one of them, and boxes, squares. So in this case, I like to use the triangles, zoom it in a little bit and stretch it a little bit. So this way you can really see what it looks like there. And I like to, it's a preference thing, guys. I just like the triangles. It works easy for me. What you're going to see now is a series of things here that line up like as if you were reading music, okay? First time I saw this, I had a panic attack. I'm like, what is going on here? And a lot of people are like, dude, what is that you're doing on your computer? And I'm like, well, they think it's a game most of the time. But anyhow, here you go. The top line is hi-hats 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, all right, middle line is snare drum. Bottom is bass, so it's exactly the way you read music. You see your eighth notes up there, you have a quarter note there, and you also have a quarter and eighth at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Eighth notes up top. Now you'll notice that it's on the quarter of the measure for some reason, but you heard me when I played the thing before through Easy Drummer. I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, and my beat started on the 1 of the measure. That's not the case here. A lot of times, don't panic. Don't think that you suck. Don't be like, man, my performance, I felt it was great, and it's just not what I thought it was. It's 9 times out of 10, it's not you. It's the way it transfers. It depends on your machine, the program you're running, the way the sun set that day, and the moon lined up to the earth, etc. Okay, there's really no rhyme or reason I could tell you that I know of why it happens. Sometimes it comes in perfect. Sometimes it doesn't. You just got to roll with it. All right. So what we're going to do is take these notes and we're going to drag them by hitting Control and Alt and I'm holding it down and, oh, slipped, and lining them up, starting it on the 1. Now, you see they lined up pretty good, but they're still a little off. And again, it might have been me. It might have been the computer, but we could fix these things. Let me show you this, too. I'm glad that little mistake happened. These are the different sounds on the piano roll. All right. And if I want to replace that hi-hat with a crash, I could do that. If I want to keep it a hi-hat, I could do that too, all right? There's a lot of different things you could do. It's really cool. I can make an entire video about that in itself, but right now we're just looking about how to line up your beats, all right? So let's line up the beat. We're going to move all these hi-hats, like I said, in time and make them right on the beat where they're supposed to be. Now, if I don't want to sit there and singularly drag each note, I could take the ones and line them all up together. Now, it's not going to be a sure shot that I got it all lined up properly, but you know, it brings the note closer to the line, and that's what we want. We want it to be closer. Now, I'm not going to sit here and do this entire thing for a test video. You know, I do enough edits throughout the course of a week, so for our own personal music, so I'm just going to show you here. All right, that's one measure that's seemingly on the money. Now, a lot of people like the quantize button up there, and quantize will fix a lot of events, and I try not to use this too much because it makes it very mechanical, and I like things to be as natural as possible, as much as they can with digital editing, which is not an easy task a lot of times because it's so reliant on the metronome and on the beat that, you know, sometimes you lose the integrity of a performance, and we definitely don't do that. We try to keep it as real as possible, and what you're hearing is actual playing and not just computerized notes. But here you go. That's one measure, okay?